Okay, assuming a two-world economy, it graphically illustrate necessary and sufficient conditions of consumer equilibrium. So what is being asked is that you need to find out where exactly consumer equilibrium would lie. Okay, and what are the necessary conditions and what are the sufficient conditions for that. So let's start by plotting certain graphs. Okay, so this is our and we these are our x's, and we know this that this is our budget line. Okay, budget line is given by p1 x1 plus p2 x2 is equal to m, where x1 and x2 are two commodities, p1 and p2 is the price vector, m is income of the consumer. You will just plot this. Okay, and this will be a downward sloping straight line with the slope of minus p2 by p1. Okay, here you have x1, here you have x2. Now the point is, where will consumers equilibrium lie? Okay, there'll be a complete indifference map for this. Okay, there'll be a huge indifference map. So suppose you have normal shaped indifference curve. Can consumer equilibrium lie here? Say at point A. Okay, now at point A, as you can see, consumer is not spending his entire income. He can still do better. So we are assuming that two goods are goods, that is, they are economic goods. That is, more of these goods will give great utility to the consumer. Okay, you would want to have more of a good, but you are constrained by your budget. Okay, so you can still go ahead, as you can see, you can still go ahead. Okay, so the point is that till what point you will go ahead. Now A is not a point of equilibrium, definitely, because you're not spending your entire income. But then there would be, say, another curve like this. Okay, say A2. Now this is one point. Still A2 is better than A, because you are at a higher difference curve. Okay, you are at a higher difference curve, but with this budget you are at a higher difference curve. Okay, but the point is, and one more thing, if you just look at this A3 point. Okay, you are spending your entire budget, but you are at a lower difference curve. Okay, then this red so you should be able to, find out the highest possible difference curve given your budget. So that highest possible indifference curve would lie at a point where your indifference curve is tangential to the budget line. So that A3 is the point. A3 is the point where your individual is going to maximize his utility. I hope this is clear to you. You started up by orange indifference curve is said that can A be an equilibrium point? Of course not, because A couldn't be an equilibrium point. It should be A4. Yeah, A couldn't be an equilibrium point. The reason being, you're not spending your entire budget. Okay, then A3 could be an equilibrium point again. No, because though you are spending your entire budget, okay, but you are not at a higher difference curve. But then come your other red indifference curve. At the red indifference curve, what happened was that you are at A2. Okay, but then A2 is the point where you are spending your entire budget, but still, I mean, you are not at the highest indifference curve. The highest indifference curve is achieved by that green indifference curve, where it is just tangential to the budget, and at that point, your indifference curve is just tangential to the individual's budget line, and hence that is the point of equilibrium. So this is the point of equilibrium. Okay, this one. So this is an equilibrium point. Okay, this is an equilibrium point. Fine. Now, but remember this, that these are just the necessary conditions. Okay, these are your first order conditions, and this is just a necessary condition. This is just a necessary condition, a first order condition. Okay, but this may not be a sufficient condition. That is, tangency of indifference curve and the budget line may not be a sufficient condition. Okay, why? Let's see. That will come up with your second order conditions. Okay, that will come up with this. So you have this kind of, you have your budget line like this. Okay, well, you have your budget line like this, and what you say is this, that you have your x1, you have your x2 up here. Okay, and your budget line is downward sloping straight line, as you can see. But then what happened was that your indifference curves are like this. Okay, this indifference curve. Okay, there is another indifference curve like this. Now these are not smooth and convex inference curve as we have shown in the earlier diagram. Now, a budget line is tangential at this point, okay, that is at point say E1. But is this point equilibrium? No, because you are spreading your entire income. Your inference curve is tangential to budget line, but still you're not at a higher difference curve, okay. Okay, so you can't say that supposedly E2 is a better point than E1 because you are at a higher difference curve. Okay, so these are the sufficient conditions. Okay, so the point is that if a difference curve they do not obey the assumption of diminishing MRS, not all points of tangency may be truly the points of maximum utility. Okay, in order that necessary conditions for maximum may also be sufficient, you usually assume this that MRS is diminishing. In this case, MRS may not be diminishing. Okay, so for your sufficient conditions, if you want the necessary conditions to become the first sufficient condition, you assume this that MRS is diminishing. Okay, if that is the case, then you will not have these kinds of difference curves, and hence your necessary and sufficient conditions will be same. Thanks.